My name is Thomas Batchelor, and I'm the interpretive ranger at David Crockett Birthplace State Park in Limestone, Tennessee, a short little john about 1,200 miles from here. David writes in his narratives, he says, "My father settled the family down at the confluence of Limestone Creek, where it flows into the Noachukee River, and that is right where our park is situated." So in September of 2024, as Hurricane Helene came through and ravaged western North Carolina and East Tennessee, the Noachukee River was one of those main pathways that those floodwaters took. Being on the confluence right down there, Hurricane Helene came through quick, fast, and in a hurry, and pretty much completely devastated our park. But our visitor center, museum, campground, our 18th century living homestead was wiped out in that flood. And we figured what better way to keep bringing the story of Crockett to folks and to bring the park to them. The purpose of coming here to the Alamo for the 190th anniversary was to connect David's birthplace to the place where he drew his final breath here at the Alamo. One of the things that did survive the flood was our stepping stone monument, which at one time served as the stepping stone into the Crockett's cabin while they lived in the area where our site is. A rather large chunk of that came dislodged from the main stone, so we quickly gathered it up and figured what better way to keep telling the Crockett story than to give a piece of stone where he took his first steps on his grand journey from Tennessee to Texas. The first time that we walked into the chapel, you're just overcome with this feeling. It's hard to describe. It's been quite an honor to come down here and experience everything that the Alamo has to offer. It is it is such an amazing site. You really get immersed in the history. It was really cool to follow in the footsteps of the man that makes all of this possible, and to to be able to participate in that, and then to make history in that moment is why we do what we do. There's always been a deep rooted connection to history, no matter what era, no matter what time period. But especially when I started at the birthplace, you learn all these facts, these myths about the man, but to actually follow along the journey, we couldn't do it on horseback. We had to bring the truck down here to pull the trailer, but to hit all those stops and to know that this man that we teach people about, that continues to inspire people 190 years after the Alamo, 240 years after his birth, is just, it's such an honor to be able to keep telling his story. And when we set that stone down, it was like the story had come full circle.